Hey guys, so I wanted to make a really quick video that has nothing to do with math, but is something that I think might be helpful just to hear. I want to talk to you guys about what I used to do when I began to hate school. So as you're going through college, there will probably be times where you're thinking, well, like this right here, this was me. I was like, school, meh, over it. And, I would kind of feel like I was losing motivation. And so what things did I do that kind of helped me, feel like it was going to be worth it? Well, the first thing that I would always do was I would think about, why am I going to school? And now that I've completed quite a bit of school, so I'm getting my doctorate right now. I've got my master's. I can say that I think school can have a very personally enriching experience, but at the time when you're going through it, you might not care about that. So usually the reason I hear, why are you going to school, is to get a job. That's usually what most people are hoping to do. They're going to get a particular major in hopes that they will get a job. And I think the scary thing that a lot of students think about is, will it be worth it? And I will just give you the truth on this. Maybe. There's no guarantees in life. And, working really hard and, trying to make sure that you do your best will help your chances. But a lot of factors can kind of impact whether or not you will get, the job that you wanted. And actually, a lot of times it can take you a couple of jobs to actually figure out what it is that you want to do. So there is one resource that I found was really helpful, to keep me motivated and to also kind of make me feel more confident as I was going through and taking this risk going to college. And it's called the Occupational Outlook Handbook. And I don't think a lot of students know about this, so I wanted to just make this video to show you what it is. So let's go take a look. Okay, so here is the website, the Occupational Outlook Handbook. And this is actually something put together by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. And I spent a lot of time looking at this website as I was going through college. So basically what this site is the Bureau of Labor Statistics just puts together projections of, things about jobs and basic information about jobs. And this is a really great way to help empower yourself to figure out if you're, going the right direction, or if maybe, you want to make some changes. So just to point out something, so down here you have highest paying, fastest growing, or most new jobs. So, if you click on highest paying, so you can see right now some of the highest paying jobs: psychiatrists, anesthesiologists, surgeons. So maybe that's not too surprising that a lot of the medical fields are paying the most, and that can be very motivating if you are sitting through school and you're like, oh my god, this is just taking me forever. All of that schooling does usually tend to come with a higher pay, which can be motivating. And you can see some of the other jobs here. So petroleum engineers, actually that's a pretty good field. So this can be something kind of just fun to look at. And if you're not sure what you want to do with your major, this can also be just a fun way to kind of figure out if there's something in this list that would interest you. And then the other thing, we've got fastest growing occupations. So this is also super interesting because you want to make sure that, what you're going to school for will land you a job in something that actually has jobs open, right? So going through this, you can just see kind of what's projected to be some of the hot jobs, and you can see some of the pay. So this can also just be something helpful to look at if you're looking for inspiration. But let's say that you already know what you want to go into. So let's see. As we look through here, why don't we go to this first one, architecture and engineering. So you can look through the different types of engineers, and then you can get all kinds of information on them. So let's say we want to take a look at a mechanical engineer. And so you can see for the job, so the median pay, what type of education you need, which is very important to know when you want to go into a certain job. So the job that I have has a minimum requirement of a master's degree, and a lot of people actually have PhDs in it. So if I wanted to, teach community college, I couldn't just do that with a bachelor's degree. And you want to make sure you know that going in case you just don't want to keep going to school. And then the other really important thing to take a look at is this job outlook. So for mechanical engineers, it's going to grow 4%. So it's about as fast as average. So that can tell you a lot actually about what you're going into. If you look at this figure here and it says like it's not growing, that's something that you want to know while you're still in college, right? Because then you can make some changes. And a lot of times when you're going into one major, that will cover a lot of different fields. So if the field that you thought you wanted to go into maybe isn't growing as fast, you can do some research on related fields just to see if, maybe you should be thinking about just something kind of related but a little bit different. And as you look down here, you can find all of this information. What does this job do? What is the work environment like? How do you become one? What is the job outlook like? And then you can also take a look at state and area data. So these are really important things to know because also like you want to make sure that you're trying to get a job in an area that you actually want to live in. So if you want to become an architect, but you're living out in the country, that may not actually be the best. That may not be where the jobs are. And then, of course, if you think of things like, if you want to be like a programmer, if you go someplace like Silicon Valley, that is going to have a lot more programming jobs than maybe some other cities. But a lot of other cities can have them too. So just kind of poking through and looking at all this, for me, this was always very helpful just to keep me motivated as to why I was actually going to school. So that's something that you can take a look at when you start to despair and you're thinking, is it worth it? You can see that and, figure out, that yes, there will probably be something for you kind of at the end of all this. Or, if you get some information, it's not growing as fast as I thought, you still have time to kind of make a change so that you can have the best odds for making sure you kind of get something close to what you want. So that's it for this video, guys. I haven't ever made something like this before, but if you found this helpful, let me know. I could make some more videos like this. I have just a lot of like little pockets of advice of things for motivation and whatnot that I usually try to share with my classes. So I was hopeful that if I made this in video format that this would still be useful. Okay, guys, well, divide and conquer your goals. See you next time.